Hi everybody and welcome back to Pinkster podcast. We're on episode 4 and today's topic, as you can see by the title, we're gonna do faith. And this is an exciting topic for me and it's exciting episode for me because I wanna speak to my cousin Keenan Achilles, fellow Christian believer, also an entrepreneur, the vision photography. I'm excited to have you here.
Very deep topic, man.
I'm glad to have you here, man. And I really wanted to speak to you about faith because I know you are a man of faith, and recently, a lot more than ever, I see how faith has worked in your life. So, let us first start by the beginning. How are you doing? How are you?
I'm actually very well.
Yeah.
I think that this has been a blessed week, very
Yes.
tough, and a lot of people think that us Christians are perfect or we keep us perfect, but I think that God says that He is holy, for we should be holy, and we should strive to the perfection of Him, and with that comes temptations, tribulations, and so many things.
Yeah.
And we don't tend to keep us perfect because God came from heaven to earth
Mm-mm.
just to share something with us.
True.
So yeah.
So I'm glad you're doing good, man. I'm glad. Laat ek sommer bietjie try. Na jou te try. So we just
Pinkster,
gonna Punkster means. So we're just gonna have a conversation,
Yeah.
you know, and Babu, I just want to get your feedback on how faith has been to you, you know, and tell us about your business before we get into spiritually, you know.
Okay, so I'm a photographer.
Mm.
Myself and my partner slash fiance.
Oh, congratulations! Yeah.
I think that business is very challenging. Firstly,
Mm.
business is just a word, but business actually runs deeper because you can't just. People think that photographers takes photos and gets home and that photos are ready, but you have to get home and you still have to edit it.
yeah, still a few
And
hours.
I think it was yesterday that someone actually asked in a little interview thing in a competition why should you choose you as a photographer,
Yeah.
and for us it is, or for me it is that it's not just taking a photo but it's standing behind the lens and seeing, having a vision for what you see and for what you can make out of it.
True, yeah.
So yeah,
So,
that's business wise.
now I'm glad. And as was one of the things that came like out of the blue for you, that just one day you just decided I love
Yeah.
photography. But you actually all your life, no?
Yes,
I
yes,
know
yes,
you've been
definitely.
taking pictures
From
wherever. camp
20,
time.
15, 16.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
became a passion for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the camera on its own was quite expensive, not having parents who works or who supports, who can give you the money just to grab a camera out of the box, which costs you about 5 to 10,000 up. And luckily for me, I was working and so many things went wrong, but I think that God has blessed me with a partner to bring half of the camera's money in, and
Wow.
I think
Wow.
business just went from there, and
Yeah.
ever since, I think it's 3 years now, and we still running our business. We got our second camera in, we got
Oh.
new lenses,
Amazing.
and God has just been good. So yeah.
Nah, that's good, man. I'm glad that you have such a partner that is so willing to go that mile with you, you know.
Yeah.
But let's get into our
Faith.
spiritual life, faith. You know, it's been a while since we actually spoke
Deep.
and deeply. And today I came here with that intention to drag out all of what led you to faith. You know,
Oh,
what was the decision that time? Let's speak about your past. You know, we as we as young people, we go through a lot.
yeah.
And a lot of people don't see what we go through, you know.
Yeah.
And by the time we are on a level, let us say, like at the stage that we're now,
Yeah.
they don't see what happened
What
then.
happened back then? Yeah.
So
Definitely.
maybe you can give us a little bit of your background and what led to
To my conversion,
yeah.
to my calling. Okay. I think that back then in youth, We grew up in the house of God. It was Tuesday, it was Thursday, it was Friday, it was Sunday, and it was Sunday again because our uncle used to just come and pick us up and just be like, get in, let's go. And I mean, he was strict with us. There wasn't an option, and a lot of people think that when you tend to punish your child, like they say, you're being a bad parent. But a bad parent led to a good character.
Hey, come on.
And I used to be the person who stood in the youth on the one side, who didn't interact. Long hair.
Yeah, your face.
A little bit of a rebel, I'll say.
Yeah.
Slash, like, I used to listen to Eminem's music.
Right.
And I think that music carries over a great power that us as Christians or youngsters do not see and know, because your warfare is not against the flesh and blood, but it's against the principalities of the dark forces. And me just standing one side, and in our youth there was only 2 or 3 people who were saved at the time, and we were up to 10, 11, and God comes through, and I thought I would be the one who would be stubborn, who wouldn't come to God and just do my own thing, because that's who I was. I just wanted to do my own thing. And Friday's in, you try to run away, the bucket comes up there before the time, and you don't even have a chance to run away.
You must go.
So there I was, standing in the youth once again, trying to be how do I say, like, you know, when you stubborn and you a bit afraid, man. Because the moment you talk back, what is gonna come, the slip or what else?
The back end.
And I think that Uncle Jeremy used to come to us and he would be like, scale you out, you'll bly notes and fang. You know what, for me to tell you what I'm telling you, it's not gonna pay me, man.
True.
It's not gonna pay
the
me.
Wisdom that he had. The wisdom.
And faith is something I got from him, man. Because he walked a life not caring about tomorrow. For when we were all together, he would throw us a big braai, knowing that would be the last money in his pocket, maybe. Not telling us. Not telling us, guys, this is my loss, but I'm gonna do that. He didn't care about that. He would go and do his thing, bring in the braai, have us fellowship, have us sing, and yet I was still the rebellious one to try and hold this hard, nikkig. And I think the day that I actually came to God was crazy. They said that you must remember how you came to God, and it's something I will never forget. I was standing in the middle of our youth at the service. Can't recall where exactly the service was. I know it was part in Pastor Jacob's church. And standing in the middle of the youth while I was singing. And and the Spirit of God came down, and it was as if my eyes was locked closed. I just couldn't open it. And the next moment I know I'm on the ground on my knees. This pastor's praying for me.
Wow.
And I look over my shoulder and I see so many people, young people coming to God, and I'm like, what is happening?
Come on, sir.
Like, where did everybody just come from? Why am I sitting here?
Yes.
And I just feel this atmosphere that, you know, that when you're carrying a lot of weight on you, a lot of baggage, because my parents were fighting always in front of me.
Come on.
And this is gonna eat me deep. When they fought, I witnessed firsthand of what the world is like. And firsthand, I had my sister there. I had to protect her. So if I think about it, I was already called to do something greater
Come on.
because I was protecting someone who needed protection,
Yeah.
but yet I was a child.
Yo. Wow.
And protecting her, we had our own house because my father was in drugs. My mom decided to sell the house and everything went sideways.
Yeah.
And this is what a lot of people don't see, is that they see the parents being divorced as it was a toxic relationship, but they leave back a child who probably loses a father
True.
or a mother,
Come on.
and it breaks you so far. It pushes you deeper into the world, because I can remember sitting in the house with my cousins and my worldly cousins, my cousins who do the wrong things, sitting with him and smoking, and this is only years after when I started going to youth, when Christ has finally called me and I moved closer to God. When I was on my knees, it was like I had a flashback of everything that I was walking around with. I used to carry a burden, a great anger towards my dad, because I've seen him,
what he did, and
I've seen what he've done, and I had to be a protector for my mom, for my sister, and automatically I felt like I'm a man in a house where I should be still just a child.
A child, yeah.
And fearing for my life, I think that fear is a great thing to have, because a lot of men don't speak about fear.
Yeah.
But fear is the exact reason why you become faithful to God.
Yeah.
Because when you're backed into the corner and you have no other way to go, your fear becomes faith.
Come on.
And
Yeah. Yo, wow.
I can just say God has been good.
Yeah.
Throughout everything, challenges, trial, tribulation.
Yeah.
He took me, nobody, and he's giving me a business to run. I mean, I don't even have matric, or I don't even have papers to say I'm a business holder or whatever. Like, people run after certificates and all of those things, but
Yeah.
Paul says that for me to live is Christ and to die is to win.
Come on.
And
Yeah.
who am I, man?
Who am I?
Who am I that God comes to visit me?
Yeah. In your young.
In my youth, man.
In your youth, yeah.
And I think that God says that laat niemand jou jonk het mijn achie.
Yeah.
Maar wees een voorbeeld, een daad in een... Ja!
So before we go to further than that, I just want to mention that to talk about a lot of youngsters. I'm glad you shared your testimony before anything else. I appreciate your testimony for real, because a lot of youngsters today don't think we went through that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They see us, we come in church, we're walking around looking, but they don't know what we went through.
What you went through, yeah, exactly.
And the things that we went through was terrible.
It was tough. Like, I'm not saying that what I went through was greater than anyone else's than anyone else's life.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what you went through is greater than mine, but we all have something that has beaten us down.
Yes.
And that has broke us. But greater is he that is within you than he is
that one in the world.
Then,
yes.
Yeah. So if you have a testimony, without going through those hard times, you won't have a testimony. So if you look at us Christians and you think, wow, let's break it. There's something that we need to be bragging at. Like, you need to brag about something because
came through.
You came from something. I mean, the lily grows
in
the dirt, the toughest dirt.
Yes.
And it's still classified as the nicest flower.
Yeah. Wow.
The rose literally grows in the hardest of grounds, and it comes out with thorns. So when we have to have a hard wall up, that's the thorns that you're gonna have to carry.
And that is the truth. I can't even it is what we all had baggage, we all had that thorns, you know,
Yeah.
and we came through that. But what a lot of teachers or what a lot of leaders that they don't teach us, something that is part for me is why I'm so I'm think I'm different is that teachers need to teach us how when you come to the Lord, what happens
Yeah.
in that
yeah.
few
Yeah.
that few months or a year after that.
I think that's the challenging part.
That part is was the confusion. You don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You just know that you must go to church.
Yeah, they don't
But
really tell you.
What
give you
what
the
did
steps to do.
what did you do in that time if you can remember?
Oh,
You know, to kind of sustain your feet in the sport. You
in
know,
Christ.
how do I leave that baggage? And you know,
That is a hard. That's a very difficult question. It's deep because Lord, I'm saved. Do
Yeah.
I go to my leader to be led,
true.
or should he come to me to
Mm.
lead me? Because that's a leader's job at the
Yes.
end of the day.
Yeah.
After all, the Bible says that when a sheep goes into the field and he goes astray, the leader will leave that 90
And go fetch
and go
the
fetch
one.
that
Come
one.
on.
And so here you are in church. You don't know a thing about reading the Bible. You
Yeah.
don't know where to start. So you become demotivated.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you
become-
feel deflated.
Exactly, and it's tiring
Yeah.
because
Especially
go?
also now for us youngsters.
definitely,
As soon as the second we leave church, our friend calls again, and
Eh.
you don't know how to say.
no.
Yeah.
So you lived with, and okay, I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Sam.
Wow.
But
I don't know what.
Oh.
I don't know. No, it's fine. You know.
As soon as you open the Bible, beep beep, someone comes there who wants to distract you.
Yeah.
So, and why I say the Bible is because the Bible is filled with guidance. And I'm left with these words of someone a few years back. Surround yourself with wise and you become wise.
Yeah.
Surround
Come on.
yourself with fools and you become a fool. I've learned that so many young people are looking up to the Raad
Yeah. For
So,
guidance.
for guidance, exactly. And
Yeah.
because they have learned it that way.
Mm.
This is a new generation.
Yeah.
Satan is as updated, as
And
upgraded,
radicalized.
crazy.
Yeah.
And we are still want to do it back in 1996. We in a new generation. These youngsters literally wants to be in the midst of the Raad or
True.
surrounded by the love of God.
True. You know, a lot of youngsters is also like when they convert and now they're in this period because they missed that love from
Yay.
before.
Yay.
They
Yeah.
want love now.
Yes.
And I think it's important that us as
As Christians.
older, but now I want to go to us as youngsters in service.
Yeah.
You know, how do we as youngsters, in your opinion, how do us as youngsters become a role model? Because we're still young, we're
Yeah.
also still growing.
Definitely.
I think in church it's all about mentorship as well.
Yes.
You need to have a mentor. So how do we as youngsters, as young men and young women out there,
Whew.
take a youngster by the hand and say, look, I need you to come with me, you know?
A lot of young people out there looks at us and first they think that you are a joke
Yeah.
until they realize that look how blessed you are.
Yeah.
You are in the storm and you are not shaken yet.
Come on.
You in the boat and you are being flooded, surrounded by water,
Yeah.
and you still look calm. When you see they draw close to you, that's exactly when you have to be like, as you have a passion maybe for playing music,
Yeah.
why don't you just come and sit with us? We can
We can
we
teach
can
you, yeah.
we can always work on something. And I
Yeah.
mean, the love of God is so comforting that in your brokenness you still see perfection.
Mm.
You still see, oh, this is what I'm supposed to learn.
Yeah.
So from my side, it's a hard walk,
That is.
and I'm not gonna say that come to God today, all your problems goes away. You get the house.
Yeah.
I'm still staying in a room by my family. I'm still dealing with certain things, but I'm content in believing that
Yeah.
there's something greater for me. For I
Okay.
know the plans.
Yeah. Through that he has for us, you know.
Exactly.
So I have two more questions for you. One, I'm gonna give you the first one, right? And then the second one is gonna be a free flow. Right? So the first question I forgot to mention to you guys that Keenan is also a lifeguard, you know. And I forgot to mention that part.
Yeah.
He's a lifeguard. That is his main trade. Um, Now we're coming to everyday life. You know, we did the past. We did the building blocks. We did mentorship. How do we as young men come in Christ? So how do you deal with everyday life with faith?
So that's challenging. Well, I have a Mark 1. I always have to have faith.
So laat my lilag lang.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest. You see, we are human, we are bound to make mistakes, man.
Yeah.
I want to give this short encouragement. I bought a car by a guy, and he did me dirty.
Yeah.
He did me so dirty. The car had about 10,000 fines on.
Yeah. Hey nah.
The car didn't have papers. I bought the car. My dad did not. My previous car, I didn't have my papers, man. So
Yeah.
I did not know what they look like. I'm not gonna lie about it. I just saw a green paper and I thought, okay, not cool. That's the papers of the car, and I bought the car, and it was the license disc.
Oh yeah nah.
So
Yeah.
I'm left stressed now.
Yeah.
Car drives nice, beautiful. Takes me wherever I wanna go, and I'm thinking that I buy this car and I need to put this car on my name. So excited to do it, and we realized that the owner died in 2017,
Oh yeah nah.
and he stays in Worcester.
Yo. Hey.
So you ask me, how do I survive everyday life in faith?
Yeah.
Wow. I
Wow.
go to this man. He owns a couple of business,
Yeah.
pizza places, food places, whatsoever, nice places, and I message the guy and I tell him, look, I'm not able to get the car on my name because I got a license this page. He says, no, he didn't know.
Yeah.
But this is a grown guy.
Yo. Come
I'm
on.
not grown enough to have the wisdom or the knowledge or to know what that papers look like if I haven't ever
Yeah.
had that papers in my life. So my dad gets upset and my dad wants to,
Yeah.
do the color style. The color style. You
As
take
a baatse van bekering uittrek.
no one knows mekaar se handetjies bietjie vuil maak. And I
Yeah.
tell him, Daddy, you know what? I'm over that. God has told me to let go
Come on.
and let
Yes,
God. And
yes.
he's like, you know what? Faith without works is dead, man.
Yeah.
This is before he became evangelist, and I think that the word says that we must be slow to react and quick to listen.
Yeah.
And I just say, I'm fine, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Important, eh? That's very important.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Spoke with fullness in belief in having faith in God now. Seems impossible because I wanted to drive down to Worcester with the car and the traffic cop stops me and tells me, if you drive any way further with this car, I'll impound the car.
Yo.
Bless that man's soul because he had a heart for me.
Yeah, he really can.
I left the scene, I came back home, parked the car, and this is where it gets interesting. We find the car parked in this yard, and it is exactly that car.
Yeah.
So now we know where the people stay, but to get there is still a problem.
Oh.
And I tell my fiance, look here, it's fine.
Mm.
I'm leaving it in God's hands. So we get a message from this lady, and she's a prosecutor,
Yeah.
saying that she has full rights to the car. After
Wow.
going through 5 different people to get
To
to the root, we find this lady, and she's willing to help us.
yeah.
She throws the car's papers up for us. She went to Worcester to go and do
Wow.
what needed to be done. She came from Worcester, handed us the papers. A prosecutor.
Wow, come on, man.
And-
Yeah.
and I'm-
yes. So.
I'm shocked. I'm standing there and I'm like,
Yo.
I got the car's papers in my hand.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not realizing the fact that the car's going on my name like from today.
From today. Oh, wow. Wow.
And Tadina looks at me and she tells me, do you know that the car is yours now? and something inside of me just looks up and says, sure, like everybody thought that it was impossible.
Yeah, come on.
And I have to
come
end
on.
off with this. The fines were so much. I asked the guy if he was willing to go half and half with me, and he said you bought the car as is.
Yo. Yeah.
When the car went on my name, there was no fines at all, man. Like
So God came through like heavy.
he came through
So my
and
one time clean.
he clean sheet the car, and you know, man, like how do you come every day through life having faith when the mountain and the storms seems higher than you?
Come on.
You let go and let God.
Yes.
That guy lost one of his shops, and I still didn't
Wow.
even rejoice in it.
I
I felt sad actually. I was like, man, like
it's still not. It's still not.
it's
justice.
humanity, man.
Yeah.
It's humanity to care about
Yeah.
someone. Like, as a child of God, you're supposed to love your enemies,
Yeah.
and when they fall, you're not supposed to rejoice in it, but you're supposed to keep praying for them.
Yeah.
And I think that God has changed me so much. If I could forgive my father that has
Put you through so many
put me
things.
through so
yeah.
much things,
Wow.
why can't I forgive someone for doing
Yeah.
me one day dirty?
Yeah. And that's that's what we need. That personality, that
Yeah.
attitude towards people, and and loving as day to day with faith. So, we're almost by the end. I want to say thank you to those who stayed and listened. I just have one more thing I want to ask, Keenan. So, the Spirit, came to me and told me that he has a message. And
Ooh.
I know, I don't know why. I don't know why, yes, but I know for sure that he has a message. And so, I'm going to allow him just to look at you guys or whoever's watching, whoever's listening. I want him to give the message that God gave him.
Oh.
So, if you want to, give him a few. So, let's have a listen to what he have to say.
A message that I'm left with to pass on, I'll say. I used to work at the airport, and back then we used to get tips, and whenever I got $1 or a yen or a yen, I used to sell it for 10 rand. I did not know the value of different currencies, and I used to sell it for nothing. So when it comes to the word has value, but if you don't know the value of the word, you tend to just throw it away, and you lose out on so many value of it. So the word that I have is in Romans, and I think that a lot of us struggle with this, is having rage inside of you, having anger towards your family members, your loved ones, and you walk your daily life captured in a cell of your mind, and I think that it becomes a first nature towards you, and you forget about that. It's better to be outside living life than to being inside and suffering in your captivity. So my message is out of Romans 12 verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourself, but rather give place unto the wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine and I will repay, said the Lord. Therefore, if thy enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, shall you be adding coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome evil by evil, but overcome evil by doing good. I just want to say, and a lot of people want to preach prosperity, preach beautiful messages. I'm going to give it to you raw and I'm going to give it to you freely. Get out of your captivity, man. Like, if God has called me from out of Tafelsig to be who I am, doesn't matter where you are. And I spoke about this a day or two ago, and I said that because we know what the Nova Park is like, we assume that everybody in the Nova Park is dirty, is dangerous, is a gangster, is associated with a gangster. But die Here wat ek dien sê dat I make all things new, man. And because it says I can make all things new, new is, I mean, when you have a phone and your screen guard breaks, it looks horrible. But the moment you take off your screen guard, your phone looks new. And that's what God does. He takes off what people see. So my message today is, let go of your anger, let go of your hurt, of your pain, of your suffering, and just let God. Let go and let God. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Keenan. Wow. The Spirit never lie. He never lie. You know, the Spirit of God is truth, and
Powerful.
And I am encouraged. I have goosebumps as I'm sitting here. So I want to say thank you to the Spirit. Thank you, Keenan, for encouraging us.
For coming over and letting me do this with you.
Yo, you know,
I've been waiting.
I told you I'm coming, but it took
yeah.
long. But as you can see, if
3
the
days
Spirit tells you,
3 days late or 4 days late, still on time.
He's still on time. But if the Spirit tells you, you have to do this, let go, and this happens. And I want to say, yo, I'm blessed. I'm really blessed. We do need to let go of anger. So I want to say thank you.
Anger is like an anchor.
It is, yes. It holds you down and weighs you down. So I say thank you to Keenan. Thank you.
Thank you for having
me. Encouraging us, you know. Thank you for you that watched. You can check him out. He's on Facebook, and his company is also on Facebook, The Vision Photography. So you can have a look at them as well on Facebook. So thank you for watching. It was a blessed episode. I was excited for this, and I knew why, and God opened it, and I said thank you for watching. Please do like, please do subscribe, share. Even if you did not share the word, if you didn't find anything else, share the word of God, and I'll be happy. That is the most important part. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm why I want to talk to people. It's for the word of God, and I said thank you that you're going to share it, because I know God's gonna come through for you. So thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.